All right, guys, I'm gonna make a quick crypto video. Haven't made a crypto video in about 2 weeks, week and a half. I was on vacation at the beach last week. It's been overall a pretty good last couple weeks in crypto. I've been pretty happy. You guys know I had that trading account. I was doing some little trades on that, which actually turned out to be really, really good. I bought a bunch of Cardano at like 53 cents 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, sold it at 60 cents, bought back in at 57 cents. Now I'm waiting for Cardano to go back to maybe 61 cents, 62 cents, and I'll be selling that. And I'll just be rinsing and repeating that on my Cardano trading until I get sick of it. But overall, Bitcoin looking good. We're at 108,429. We're down a little bit today. I think because Trump came out. It's always the same thing when Bitcoin takes a dump. Trump came out. He threatened 10%, an extra 10% tariff on countries that ally with anti-American BRICS policies. I agree with that. Everything Trump's doing as far as tariffs, I agree with. The only thing that sucks about it is every time he comes out and makes an announcement that's negative regarding tariffs, the market kind of pulls back a little bit. But I don't think this is a big deal at all. You had Scott Bessent, I think that's his name, Scott Bessent came out today. He said a bunch of new trade deals are getting, here it is right here. It says Scott Bessent said a bunch of new trade deals are getting announced this week. So all this whole trade thing, this whole trade war thing is kind of coming to the end. I know a lot of people are very emotional. Every time they hear a little bit of news on something, they panic, they sell, they run to mommy. But anybody with any common sense can see everything going on with this whole trade situation is coming to an end. I predict probably by mid-July, end of July, we're not going to be hearing too much more about trade. I think the whole trade war thing is going to be over, and that's extremely positive for Bitcoin and crypto. And of course, as all the newbies, all the little retail money sells every time there's some news that they don't like, all the big funds right now are accumulating Bitcoin. This is what we've been talking about for the last year on this channel. Just follow what the big money's doing. We're all idiots. We're all peons. None of us know what we're doing. We just don't know. Follow what the big money's doing. Here's an article right here. Bitcoin whale scoops up Bitcoin as price nears record high in signs of growth expectation. Large holders are accumulating Bitcoin aggressively while smaller investors are selling. This is exactly the scenario that takes us into a bull run. Basically the way it works is all the big money, the big funds, the people who are rich, they're buying right now while all the retail money is scared shitless. Once Bitcoin breaks past all-time highs, once Cardano goes back over $1 again, Ethereum goes to 4,000 or whatever, then all the retail money comes in, they start buying, and then all the big whales start selling. Once you start to see articles that all the big whales are selling, is when you know this bull run is almost over. I have my little market indicators. Some of my friends, I always talk about some, I'm not going to mention their names, but they only talk to me about crypto when crypto's at the tippy top of the bull market. It's actually, I've been through two or three bull markets right now. The same friend has been the exact top indicator every time. And I can tell you, I'm expecting a call from him in about 3 months, maybe going into September, October, when Bitcoin's getting back to all-time high. Here's another article. I mean, you can see all these articles everywhere. Crypto fund posts 1 billion inflows with net assets breaking new highs. Bitcoin saw 790 million of inflows last week, a slowdown from the previous 3 weeks, averaging 1.5 billion. So basically, all these big funds are essentially accumulating Bitcoin, which is exactly what you want to see. I mean, this is we're lining up, guys, with everything that's happening right now is just lining up perfectly. I know people are bored. I'm bored too. I know people are getting bored. They're like, oh, when's this Altseason going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. But you have to understand, everything's just gearing up. You just have to be patient. Again, here's Cardano, Solana, XRP, altcoin trading volume surges as crypto rally accelerates. These 3 coins and a few other ones had big news last week with an ETF news. So we're seeing a lot more volume come into those coins, including Litecoin. Trading volume in altcoins such as Cardano, Solana, and XRP are surging as the current rally in cryptocurrency accelerates. And that's what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin dominance come down, which we're not really seeing right now. We're not seeing yet. But once it does, these altcoins are going to go absolutely crazy. I saw Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I never liked Elon Musk. I was never an electric car guy. I never trusted him. He's one of these guys that only cares about profits. He came out against American workers. He came out supporting bringing Indians and foreigners over to the country because he said they work better than Americans. I just never trusted him. And Vivek are two people I never trusted. But I like that he was helping Trump. Well, he pretty much completely abandoned Trump, backstabbed Trump, and now he's starting his own political party, which I think is going to completely fail, flop. I saw Tesla stock is down 8% today. Like, people are like sick of Elon Musk now. So basically what Elon Musk did, he pissed off all the liberals by hopping on the Trump train. Okay. And now he's pissed off all the Republicans by starting his own party. I mean, he's like a man without a country now. Like, nobody likes him. I even saw Mark Cuban is now kissing Elon's ass. Like, Mark Cuban's even more hated than freaking Hitler. Nobody likes Mark Cuban. So Elon Musk now is starting his own political party. I guess the one positive is he's talking a lot about Bitcoin. So as long as Elon Musk is talking about Bitcoin, that's great. He says Elon Musk says his new political party will support Bitcoin. Fiat is hopeless. So at least that's good. But I don't think this political party is going to go anywhere. It's a complete joke. And like I said, Elon Musk is like that friend we all had in high school who will just backstab you at any moment. I don't trust Elon Musk at all. The minute you do something Elon Musk doesn't like a little bit, he completely turns on you. These are people you do not want in your life. And that's probably why Elon Musk doesn't have a lot of friends, as you can see. Like, he just basically latches on to people for a few months, and then he basically starts a fight with them. He really is a mental case. He really is a sociopath, I think. But whatever. All right, let me see if I'm missing anything else. We talked about Cardano. We talked about tariffs. We talked about that. The big thing right now is just kind of it's a waiting game. It's always a waiting game. Bitcoin made it up to 110,000. It seems like we do have heavy resistance right now, like $110,000 Bitcoin. Every time Cardano gets to 60 cents now, it kind of pulls back. We need some good news that's going to basically push us into the next level. I think it's coming. I think it might even happen this week. I think we're getting some new trade deals announced this week. So we're also seeing a lot of the articles now. Like, the sentiment has really changed with crypto, especially if you go back to like where we were a couple months ago. This is even a CNBC article. Investors expect Bitcoin to break out to new records in the second half from a consolidation phase. I always say when you go into these bull runs, we have 2 or 3 phases. We've already had the first phase where your altcoins like Cardano went from like 50 cents to $1.30. Now they drop 50%. Or drop 70%. Yeah, Bitcoin go up to like 110, drop down to like 85. Now we're pushing our way back up. We're due for the second phase very, very soon. And my only question is, are we going to get 2 phases in this bull run, or are we going to get 3 phases? I'm leaning more towards 2, just because of how long and drawn out everything's been. So that's why I think with this second phase, which could happen this week, I really think Bitcoin's just we're so close to Bitcoin going past its all-time high and altcoins following. I think once Bitcoin hits like 120, 130, 140, and then I think we're going to be in some sort of euphoric stage heading into 150, where everybody's like, oh my God, $200,000 Bitcoin's coming, 250's coming. You're going to see Cardano at like $2.50, $2. Oh my God, $10 Cardano's coming. Ethereum will be at like 4,000. Oh my God, $15,000, $10,000 Ethereum's coming. I think that's when we're going to be like at the end of the second phase of this bull run. And for me, I plan to be about 80, 90% out of the market at some point in the second phase, because I'm just not all that confident we're going to have a third phase. We could have a third phase where Cardano goes to 250, then we get a big pullback for a couple months. Cardano goes back down to like 80 cents or $1. And then we shoot up to like $3, $4, $5. But for me, I just don't, the risk reward just isn't there anymore to be holding for a third phase. So the second phase of this bull market is we're in it right now. We've started it. Bitcoin's coming back up to all-time highs. You're seeing Cardano pushing back up to 60 cents. Solana's making its way back up. I think in about a month or two, end of summer, which is kind of what we've been talking about for the last year on this channel, end of summer, maybe going into the fall, when we're at the top of that second phase, euphoric stage, your Uber driver's talking about it, you go to the dentist. I remember last bull run, I was going to the dentist, and somehow Bitcoin came up, and he was like drilling my tooth, and he's like talking Bitcoin the whole time. He's like, oh, my dentist is like a Russian guy. He's like, oh, what, you have this coin, I have this coin, my son has this coin. I couldn't talk because I'm like, he's drilling my mouth. I'm just like, man, this dentist guy is like, his whole life is dentistry. He's not even thinking about anything else. But Bitcoin was so popular in 2021, he was talking about it. And I've been back to that dentist maybe 20 times because I always have some sort of dental problem in the last 3 or 4 years. He hasn't mentioned Bitcoin once since then. So that's another market indicator. When your dentist, your doctor, your Uber driver, your plumber, your friends who never talk about Bitcoin, they start talking about it. My friend in December, January, called me up asking me what kind of altcoins he should buy. I gave him a list. I told him we're probably at a short-term top. And I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard anything about him about crypto since. So you'll just see it everywhere. Everybody's going to be talking about crypto. And that is going to be the second phase and possibly the last phase of this bull run. We could have a third phase, but I'm not going to be the one left holding the bag. I'm going to be 80% out, at some point in the second phase. Like I've said, my price levels, at this point, Cardano, $2-3, I'm definitely going to be out. Litecoin, $250, $300, $400, I'm definitely going to be out. Theta between $4 or $5, I'll be mostly out of Theta. Maybe like 60% out of Theta, and then set some stop losses, hoping Theta gets to like $8 or $10. If I had a lot of Bitcoin, which I don't have a lot of Bitcoin right now, but if I was in Bitcoin and I was in Bitcoin for the last couple of years, I'd probably be 100% out of Bitcoin, 100% by between $130,000 and $140,000. Again, we could have a third phase where everything goes crazy and everybody who sells in the second phase of the bull run looks like an idiot, but I'm just not going to be the one holding the bag. It's too depressing. And if I don't sell my crypto at the right time, this bull market, and I have to hold it for another 4 years, every day for the next 4 years, I'm going to be looking in the mirror just thinking how much of a loser I am. So I can't let that happen. But all right, other than that, guys, let's just wait and see what happens this week with the whole tariff situation. Things are all lining up. There's no negativity on the horizon. Trump is doing his thing. Economy is really good. I do think at some point in 2025 we're going to go into a recession, and I think the bear market for crypto is 100% going to at least start at some point this year. It'll probably be sometime like end of fall. Going into like December, going into next year when the bear market's going to be really, really hitting full-fledged in crypto. I think the housing market's probably going to take a big hit too. I don't think 2026 is going to be really good for the economy, but I do think we're going to come out of it at the end of 2026. So we want to be out of most of these investments probably by the end of the year. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.